Cleopatra, a queen, a living goddess, with a reputation that became legendary. This is the story of the real Cleopatra. Cleopatra was born into a life of privilege in 69 BC. Her father, Pharaoh Ptolemy XII, was the king of Egypt. Once the world's greatest ancient civilization. But by Cleopatra's time, Egypt was in decline, and the Roman Empire on the rise. Egypt needed a new strong leader to regain its former glory, and the pharaoh earmarked the young Cleopatra for the role. And he made sure she was well prepared for the task ahead. Cleopatra had been born into one of history's bloodiest and most treacherous royal families, the Ptolemies. The ruthless Ptolemies had kept control of the Egyptian throne for 300 years by being callous, merciless killers. The young Cleopatra would have been all too aware of this and of other, even more disturbing, family traditions. Humbled by fading fortunes, steeped in incest, soaked in blood. This was the treacherous childhood Cleopatra survived. Then, at the age of just 16, everything changed. With the help of the money from Rome, her father regained power, and in 52 BC, he crowned his daughter Cleopatra as his queen. For the new queen, life was about to become even more dangerous. In the great Ptolemy tradition of family infighting, Cleopatra and her brother immediately became deadly opponents. Cleopatra knew all about the power of Rome. That Roman would be Julius Caesar. With Caesar's blessing, Cleopatra took the throne with her surviving and harmless younger brother as co-ruler. For now, she had eliminated any threats to her authority. And perhaps more importantly, in the eyes of Egyptian custom, she was now considered married to Julius Caesar. But for this living goddess, the future would be far from secure. It would contain terrible pain and loss. And for her husband, Caesar, it would prove fatal. But it was about to be shattered. The Ides of March, 44 BC. The increasingly unpopular Caesar entered the Roman Senate. A note was thrust into his hand. It contained a warning, but Caesar decided to read it later. Within minutes, the Senate, the epicenter of power in the most sophisticated civilization on Earth, descended into savagery. Julius Caesar, husband, protector, and the father of Cleopatra's son, was dead. To guarantee the future safety of herself, her son, and her country, Cleopatra had to once again find an ally in Rome. Enter a politician, general, and Caesar's staunchest ally. Enter Mark Antony. Cleopatra had manipulated Mark Antony into helping remove her rivals and protecting her from Rome. But Cleopatra wanted more. The ambitious queen wanted her lover's help to build an empire of her own. And while he'd been partying in Alexandria, he'd been losing his grip on power in the Roman Senate. Just as his co-ruler Octavian was tightening his, scheming against Mark Antony and plotting the lover's downfall. Cleopatra chose power over passion, sacrificing her lover to save her country. Cleopatra had manipulated the man who loved her into taking his own life. On the 12th of August, 30 BC, 11 days after Mark Antony's death, Cleopatra chose to take her own life, rather than leave her fate in Octavian's hands. A loving mother, ruthless politician and extravagant hedonist, and divine goddess. It's these contradictions that make Cleopatra impossible to categorize and impossible to forget.